So album covers are designed to illustrate the vibe, sound, style, or feeling that the music is supposed to bring, giving imagery to the music. And with decades filled with hits that were a part of successful albums, the same can also be said about album covers. But just as things do change and evolve, new trends come about, and there's this one trend, or I guess topic really, that has sparked discussion about how artists have been releasing more various covers of their albums instead of just keeping it with one or two covers. So typically years ago, like the 2010s or even 2000s and so, artists would release one or two versions of their album covers, a standard edition, and there will also be a deluxe edition. And the deluxe edition would have around 2 or more songs changed in some type of way, like maybe it's in black and white, or maybe it's in color, or there's just something about that cover that there's some type of change to it. And sometimes depending on the country, there will also be an exclusive, an example being like the Japan edition, or there will also be like a store exclusive like Target Deluxe Edition that would include bonus tracks as well, which sometimes the album cover would be different. And then another case where you might see an album have a different artwork, like a platinum edition, along with some new songs as well included into that album, a repackaged version. But when it came to the resurgence of vinyls in the 2010s that continue into the 2020s, besides different pressings being created for the albums, the number of alternative covers started to grow. There would be exclusive versions that would be bought in stores or artist websites, and then of course other places as well. And while it is a smart move to boost sales and also give fans more options, many have expressed online that the impact of an album cover that it once had, it's becoming less now, with eyes no longer focused on one main image anymore, as well as there being comments about it being a cash grab. So I do agree that having all these different alternative covers can lessen the impact of a singular album cover, like the main one that represents the music. Sometimes the various covers that we do get, it doesn't always represent the music, or sometimes you might see one, because this has also happened to me too, where I'm like, wow, why didn't they just go with that cover better? I think it just works. It fits the music so much more. Katy Perry's Smile album, she had different versions of it, like the artwork, and this was the one I liked the most. This was my favorite. Usually, yes, when I think of Smile, I do think of this cover, the first one that she showed us. It does kind of take away, like, oh, my eyes, like I see the main one, but then there's also these other choices. But if you give it some time, like maybe a few months or a year or more, because this is what's happened to me, I kind of forget about those other covers and I just think about that first one that the artist has showed us. Like for example, Sabrina Carpenter, when she revealed her album cover, of course she also had other alternates, right? Like different version album covers that we could have picked from. But I kind of forgot about the other ones after a month or so, and I just started to think about that first one that she showed us. That's already ingrained in my brain. Like that represents the era for me, right? But also, when you think about it, like, yes, for us right now, being able to experience these album releases that we get to see artists release different covers that you can pick from. Those covers, it's for a physical release. But when you go online, like on streaming or even on YouTube, and you search that album, you're most likely gonna see the cover that the artist showed us first. Even though there's other covers out there or other editions of the album that might look different, when it comes to somebody else who maybe is not in the fandom or is somebody who's new, like younger generations to come that are gonna look into these artists' discography, they're gonna see that album cover that is presented to them on the streaming service or on the internet, and it's not gonna be one of the different ones that was presented to us while the album was released that we were able to purchase. That's the one that we're gonna see a lot more when we decide to stream the album or search it online, unless you decide to search the other the other covers that the artist also released as well that you were able to buy. Those were more for physical releases. It wasn't meant to be shown digitally. Like, it's not going to be something that we're going to see digitally a lot, especially as time goes on, and hopefully they still keep selling music physically, because who knows how that's going to work, because we've seen discussions about this when it comes to video games. It seems like things are gonna get more digital, and didn't like Best Buy take away like the DVDs and CDs at the store? And of course there's been discussions on that, how important it is to buy physical media because you're owning it and no one can take that away from you, because digitally, well, that's a whole other topic. Maybe I'll talk about it in another time, but I need to stay focused on this topic. I don't mind if artists do that. I think it's cool that there's more choices, like, oh, I like that, because there are some album covers where I'll see them, I'm like, damn, I should buy that one. I think the marketing for these covers can be brilliant, like how Cardi, she put her trial, you know, like the memes that were happening around this time. I love that she added those into an exclusive album cover. I thought that was pretty cool, and I wanted to get one of those. So I don't see anything wrong with them releasing different versions. I mean, it gives more to the fans, and it is a good business move, because again, the music industry, I know I forget about it, but it is a business, and just like any business, you want it to do good. And if you see something that people really want to really like, of course you're going to keep putting it out, or hey, maybe I should try that too, or whatever. So that's just my opinion on it. It's, you know, you don't have to agree with it. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think when an artist decides to release different various covers for their album, do you think it affects the impact of the album artwork and takes away what an album cover should have? Or do you think it just doesn't matter? It doesn't take away the impact of the album cover, no matter how many different various covers that they decide to release? You can share it down below in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, do leave a like. I would really appreciate it. And also subscribe while you're at it if you're new here. And also be sure to check out all the other content on the channel, deep dives, conversations. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.